Hello, and welcome to Teacher Gimble's channel. Make sure to like and subscribe if you'd like more videos like this. Today we're going to be looking over Illustrative Math Algebra 1, Unit 2, Lesson 1, Practice Problem Sets. Let's get started. Problem 1. The videography team entered a contest and won a monetary prize of $1,350. Which expression represents how much each person would get if there were X people on the team? I see my answer choices A, B, C, and D. First off, I'm identifying the amount of money that the team won. That's $1,350. I see that I want to divide it into how much each person would get. So I know I need $1,350 divided by X. Looking at my answer choices, I don't see my answer in any of these answer choices. So I have to remember that a second way to write division is 1,300 over X. These two expressions are equivalent. This helps me see that A is my answer choice. Let's go on to the next problem. Problem number 2. To support a local senior citizen center, a student club sent a flyer home to the N students in the school. The flyer said, "Please bring in money to support the senior citizen center. Paper money and coins accepted. Their goal is to raise $T. Match each quantity to an expression or an equation or an inequality that describes it." So let's go ahead and start by identifying our variables. Looking back at the problem, I first noticed that N represents the number of students and T represents the number of dollars. I'm going to write this down on the side. So, N represents the number of students and T represents money in dollars. The quantity of dollars is important because dollars can be counted in cents or it could be counted in dollars. Let's go ahead and skip matching. A says the dollar amount the club would have if they reached half of their goal. So I know their goal is T. That's the amount of money they want to raise. So 1/2 of T can be written as 1/2 times T. I quickly look at my answer choices and I notice that there are no fractions in any of my answer choices. So I have to remember that this can be written 1/2 is equivalent as 0.50 or 50%. I can be rewritten as 0.5 and 0.5 times T can be written as just 0.5 T. All of these expressions are equivalent and I notice they match with number 2. I found my first answer. Let's keep going. B says the dollar amount the club would have if every student at the school donated 50 cents to the school. We are raising our money in dollars, so I first noticed that 50 cents is ½ a dollar. I'm going to write that as 0.50, which is the same thing as 0.5 because the zeros at the end of a decimal don't need to be written. Then I see it's the dollar amount the club would have of every student. So it's going to be 0.5 per student, and N represents our number of students, which gets us 0.5 N. We found our second answer. C says the dollar amount the club could donate if they made $50 more than their goal. Well, I know that our goal is $T, and I know that if they made $50 more, I would have to add that $50. T plus 50. There we go. We found our answer to C. D says the dollar amount the club would still need to raise to reach its goal after every student at the school donated 50 cents. We already figured out that donating 50 cents of every student would be 0.5 times N. But we need to figure out how much the school would still need to own. Well, if the school wants T amount of money, and it already has 0.5 times N, subtracting that number will get us the amount of money they need to continue to raise. That one's a little bit tricky. Pause the video and re-listen if you need to think about that one a second time. E says the dollar amount the club would have if half the students at the school each gave 50 cents. We have to go ahead and re-look at our answer. So I paused there because I was like, what is the difference between B and E? So I had to double check. So B says the dollar amount the club would have if every student donated 50 cents. This one says the dollar amount the club would have if half of the students donated. So not all of the students will be donating. I already know we're going to multiply 0.5 times n, but we don't have n students in this case. In this case, we have half the number of students. To get half the number of students, I'm going to say half of n. So 0.5 represents the 50 cents, and this 0.5 represents half of the students who are donating. I say 0.5 times 0.5 is 0.25, and n still lives in our expression. This guy over here matches 3. Let's see if we can get one more question done before the end of this video.